Oh shit, dude. TrickTrailblaze is thinking about winning the lottery. Welcome back to part 2 of Years of War. So here we go. I'm not gonna try to die this time again, guys. Oh my god.
Get in there and flank that thing.
Oh shit. It happened to me again, dude. Thank you guys for watching part 1. This is drama for part 2, as you can see.
What's up, bitches?
Exams and X-rays. Call 1-800-ASPEN-DENTAL because your mouth is our mission.
Coming up.
More snow is on the way. The latest winter weather is affecting travel.
We've got a grub hole! All clear.
Well, I guess that'll work.
And their families. And the FDA
All in!
liquid soaps meant to protect us.
Get a move on, soldier.
Closed captioning sponsored in part by How to Pass R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
Rolade starts working instantly.
Which way do we have to go, TrickTrailblaze?
More acid than Tums. Rolade.
Thanks, I just know.
All right, sit back. Here are the categories. Poetic women. A matter of life or death.
You good?
So, we got an Asian guy here.
Kim Dom is the Mexican guy in the back.
It keeps jamming.
Loving the chainsaw gun. What an awesome idea for this.
Sniper! Take position!
Paul Jr.'s trike bike anime for Years of
It
War.
was so sick, man.
Did they ever put that game in that vehicle in the game then, or?
In Years of War 2.
Yeah.
No idea.
Oh, yeah!
Poetic women for sport.
I remember they did have like a
The
truck.
Nancy in this
Oh my god, guys. They say free when you're single the ride filters through. Yeah, that was my shit out.
lands of the Dakotas. We trail Betsy by just 200 now.
You take a side of
How do I
This way.
pick up this,
shotgun. You go by and push X.
Good to go.
It'll show up on
okay.
it. You want to keep your shotgun and lancer.
Bitter performance.
That's what she said.
Maror is Hebrew for the
Hell yeah!
Whoa, long way down there, you got some running water.
Passover? Correct.
I'll take a matter of life or death report.
Bread as the mainstay of the in a crisis. Phone a friend is one example. Betsy,
What is the lifeline?
good.
1200 same category.
A alliterative term used to publicize a circus performer who puts himself at great risk. Matthew,
What is death?
Betsy,
I'll take a matter of life or death.
though they sound like they sit on the beach, they're the
Oh, yeah!
guard.
Fight through the pain!
Finish the category for 2000.
One of the examples begins with a proud king. So proud when this heavenly being appears to him. Tiffany?
You're blocking my shots.
A bittersweet cherry liqueur is called
Control, this is Delta. Come in. Nice.
The name of this
the door.
green veggie precedes Rob in the name of a bitter green veggie.
Yeah,
That's
Cameron
it.
just gets shot in the head.
Dinner for 16.
Answer.
Well, you know what happens to the best of us.
You do not have 50% of Matthew's
Which door do we go to?
This one.
darn near.
I will do 3,000.
3 only. Here's the clue. This bitter green liqueur
Who is that?
distilled from alcohol infused with wormwood.
Coltrane?
Somebody's having a good time up there. Holy shit.
You need to get off this Coltrane G, dude.
Right. It's fun when you pull it out of thin air, isn't it? Go again.
Just get a break for 3,000.
Back in 1824, a German doctor formulated what is now this brand of aromatic bitter. Matthew, what is
Look, see, look at, there's your boy.
Angostura is correct.
Coltrane, all he's all laid out.
Coltrane?
About to get raped in the butt.
LMFAO, blank rock anthem.
Dude, he was everybody's favorite
Matthew,
player in
what is
mine.
Carter?
I didn't like him.
Let's rock for 8.
You know to use
Gary
his
Glitter.
character.
Rock
Look,
and roll,
he's right.
blank
Can I
blank.
just step on his head?
Matthew,
What is
I'm not
Carter?
gonna go.
Let's rock for 12.
the Black Eyed Peas, rock that blank.
Somebody get it one.
Rock that body. Matthew.
Let's go for 16.
Yeah, yeah,
Rock
yeah.
and roll, blank blank.
You know you look good to
Tiffany.
What
me.
is high school?
Yes.
Let's rock for 2,000.
Neil Young, rockin' in the blank blank.
Defensive lineman.
Matthew,
What is free world?
you got it.
I'll take the machine for 400.
In 1922, Maytag introduced the agitator for moving water around in the drum in one of these. Matthew,
What is a washing machine?
correct.
The machine for 800.
Created in 1897, the first one used gunpowder. Some today use compressed air and can throw a change-up. Tiffany,
What is a machine gun?
no.
Damn.
What is a pitching machine? Matthew, we come back to you.
The machine for 1200.
The Medbox Company has created a machine that dispenses this plant for medicinal purposes. And brownies, too. Matthew?
What is marijuana?
Yes.
I'll take the machine for 1600.
In this Canadian province's oil
What's
sands,
his?
the Bucyrus RH400 hydraulic shovel has, in 1 hour,
Oh no, not those things. So shotgun
What
stairs.
is Alberta?
Shotgun.
I'll take the machine for 2000.
2012, Purdue students built a machine named for this cartoonist. It took 300 steps to blow up and pop a balloon. Matthew?
Who is Rube Goldberg?
Yes.
Florence for 400.
Florence is the capital of Florence province and this region known for its Yankee River and Lake Louisiana.
I'm free.
In 1494, this ruling family was driven out of Florence. In 1512, they came back. Betsy,
Or the neighbor's church.
the world's largest Franciscan church, the Basilica of Santa Croce, is the burial place of this 17th century astronomer. Matthew?
I'll take Florence for 16.
In the 1920s, this G-man opened a leather goods shop on the Via Villanueva. Tiffany,
Who's Gucci?
Gucci is right. Now the last clue.
Florence for 2,000.
The Royal Apartments, the Carriage Museum, and the Costume Gallery are just a few of this palace's attractions. Tiffany,
What is the Pitti Palace?
the Pixie
Well,
Palace
which
is
way do you
right
think
at
we
the
go,
end of
TrickTrailblaze?
11,400. You're in second place now. Final
Get over
Jeopardy
here and
still
take
to come.
these weapons.
Countries for short is the category. Think about it. Make it work.
I got the train, open the door!
There's a better way to save. Because if you've shopped at Sears, you may have valuable points waiting to be redeemed on millions of great gift ideas in stores or at Sears.com. Remember, points equal dollars, so hurry in and use them now before they expire. Holiday a better way.
I'm kind of
Sears.
scared.
And I thought you were going to
Introducing Red Lobster Seafood Cakes. Combinations of your favorite seafood. From lobster to crab, shrimp and mussels, and
This
seafood.
ring run, man.
Try one today and see if you get it. Now try 7 lunch choices at $7.99. Sandwiches, salads, and more.
This is Jerome. Today, building a recipe
surprise twinge of back pain, and a choice. Yet before that little day, to leave Robbie Reed. That's it.
Right, not loud. Introducing Special K Nourish Hot Cereal. Made with superfoods.
It definitely tastes like super. I can't put up with 200 calories.
To help you truly shine.
This is the way it gets made.
Nurturing yourself. What will you gain when you lose? Also available in Nourish Nutrition Bars and the Guide and Nutrition app.
The online test is coming. I took it. I would soon. Well then.
Now I'm gonna be on Jeopardy. I might even
use the
already be
hammer.
a winner.
Maybe you are too.
Look like a winner.
Go to Jeopardy.com and sign up now.
It only works in
Planning
Godzilla.
for your future.
Take the online test. It's coming up this
Hey, you know there's a new
January.
Godzilla movie
You
coming
think
out.
we'll have something like this in the future? Where, like, when you bring this gun and it'll shine the sun's light,
Yeah,
these mirrors.
and it's gonna be to kill people like
Yeah.
This is a dream.
NBC's The
Like,
Locust
uh,
Season finale tonight and tomorrow. Tonight, the sing-off
That'd be like
continues
fun.
with a musical journey across the generations.
They probably
Don't
got
miss the
to work
hand-to-hand
on
battle
something
that
like
leaves the judges speechless. NBC's The Sing-Off continues
I
tonight.
went down into the ring of fire, and it burns, 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 and it's the flame of mine. Or something, something, something. Something, something. Oh,
Right here in Madison.
You may only have one opportunity to get this right.
And Abraham.
There's only one.
If you've been injured in an accident, call
it's just my face.
Cupid and Abraham.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, you'll always find value on the things you need for everyday living. The products that make life easier. Right now, this Hamilton Beach breakfast sandwich maker is sale priced at $24.99. Save on this Carson Forge entertainment credenza from Solder. It's $199.99. And pick up a 24-pack of Duracell AA copper top batteries. They're now $12.99. For everyday essentials and more, count on Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
This pain reliever has the strength to relieve arthritis pain with just 2 pills for a less painful holiday. The correct response, what is a
Checkpoint!
Jeez, they fucking
Here's the clue.
their girlfriend again.
North Korea is the
Where?
DPRK.
Fucking screams.
This country is the LPDR.
Oh, he's there, bitch. He's
Alright, so we are here, guys. We got bad case of termites. The black lady right there doesn't know if she knows this final Jeopardy question.
Betsy Foss, not Betsy Ross. We come to you first. You had 9,800. You were in third place, and you were going for what is Taiwan. And if you had completed that, it still would have been incorrect. So it'll cost you how much? 9,799. Less than a buck. Let's go to Tiffany Howard now.
This part of the game reminds me of like Resident Evil or something.
No, that is correct.
Yeah.
It cost you all but $100. So over to Matthew Church now. He's got to be feeling good because he couldn't be caught. He had 24,000. He wrote down what is Laos, and that is correct. That is the country, and you will add nothing. So you become champion, the second Canadian champion in 2 weeks on our program, with $24,000. Way to go. You'll get to play again tomorrow. Please join us then. Come on, everybody.
Prizes for our second and third place contestants provided by Ali. Promotional consideration provided by
You watch my back, Black Guy.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on
Look around
car
that corner.
insurance. For a free rate quote, visit
Oh,
geico.com.
TrickTrailblaze.
Call 1-800-947-AUTO.
The legacy lives on in Breaking Bad alchemy. The extraordinary interactive multi-touch book from the true Breaking Bad fan. Download exclusively on iTunes.
You're pissed a little bit.
The clapper comes with
Like, we should get extra XP for that.
secure. Turn to the alarm function, and your lights turn on at the first sound it hears.
Oh, too easy, huh, dude?
Big fucking tick.
Really threw that guy. Alright, so where the hell did you go now, man?
Inside.
Oh, okay. I was like, look. I don't like this chair. It looks kind of old. Oh, good night, chair. They say I'm a window shopper. Oh. That's what I do in the store. Bring a fucking chainsaw. Slice up some brand new furniture. A lot of snow going on, guys. Hope you're enjoying your Christmas vacation. It's Christmas, TrickTrailblaze. Well, almost. Which means a lot of eggnog and putting up with family and tons of presents. Ain't that right, TrickTrailblaze?
Dude, my buddy sell me this tablet, dude, for $100, dude. It's a Moto Zoom. It's got 32 gigabytes of storage. It's in 1080p.
Says it appears the nose of the plane was off the runway, and we do have a crew that's heading to the airport right now.
The Madison Fire Department has left the scene again because there was no fire. When we get more information on this breaking news story, we'll
That'll
post
be
it
my
at
big Christmas gift, dude.
And we will also have continuing coverage throughout the newscast. So be sure to stay tuned right
Oh, I see a bunch of jabronis over
Snowy
there.
weather is causing problems at the airport and on the road. City trucks are out salting streets and will be working throughout the night.
And in just moments, we're going to check in on how their work is going. But first, let's take a live check of the snow from our Capitol Sky Cam. It's a beautiful scene that just keeps coming down out there.
And we're going to check in with meteorologist Brian Dukes for our weather
These guys fell way back and then they respawned.
Everywhere you go, looking like a snow globe right now. Unfortunately, the timing is awful as we work through the evening commute. If you don't have to travel over the next 2 hours, probably best not to. I think improving conditions, though, as we head after 7 o'clock tonight. 12 degrees right now in Madison. Visibility has came up just a bit locally, but still only about a mile. Fortunately, the back end of the snow cover is beginning to work through and should be completely through by about 6 or 7 o'clock, maybe as late as 8 as you approach the Illinois border. By 8 o'clock, just mostly cloudy skies down to 12. By 10, down to 10. We have another round of snow later tonight. I'll let you know when that arrives. And total accumulations all coming up in
Shotgun fucked them up, dude.
Thanks, Brian. It is a mess out there on the roadways right now. Just look out at the belt line. Everything's slow going out there. Part of it is because the temperature stayed lower than the city expected.
And right now, we are going to talk live with Madison Street Superintendent Chris Kelly, who has been monitoring the snow all day. Chris, what are you seeing out there right now?
Right now, the salt did not work as well as we thought it would. We do have
Oh
some
my
down on the ground. The temperatures do go up. It's a lot better, but it is slippery, and they need to slow down when they're going.
Chris, a lot of people, I think we make the mistake if we have four-wheel drive of over-driving it sometimes, getting a little too confident. Have you noticed that? Have your plow drivers noticed that people sometimes are just over-driving it, thinking they're equipped to handle anything?
Yeah, with the four-wheel drive, what they think is they can get going, but they still have to stop. So they need the same distance to stop.
And this is a live look at one of our DOT cams. Chris, is there any specific area that is posing the most trouble for drivers at this hour?
It's rush hour, so everything is slow-moving, slow-moving. Our trucks are in the
I got him.
taking them time to get through as well.
Right, Chris, we'll let you get back to work. Thanks for checking in with us live. Chris Kelly, Madison Street. We appreciate it.
A Lake Mills woman is dead and another person severely injured after a snowmobile crash. We now know that the woman killed in that crash was 24-year-old Katie Brash. It happened yesterday afternoon on the Crawfish River near Columbus. Officials say 6 snowmobilers were traveling together when Brash began to slide in the area of open water, hitting some trees. The driver behind her saw it happen and
so we're gonna
jumped
move
off
on,
his
guys.
machine before it crashed.
Get
He
it
was
down.
taken to UW Hospital with severe injuries.
A man lost in the blowing snow on Lake Winnebago was rescued with the help of a Department of Natural Resources
Am I going the wrong
airplane.
way?
2 men were riding their snowmobiles across that lake yesterday afternoon and lost their way in the
shit.
snow. When one of the men reached shore, he realized his 33-year-old brother wasn't with him. The DNR plane was able to locate the brother and guide rescuers on the lake.
We are now just 5 days away from the official start of winter, which means we can expect to see ongoing changes. To stay up to date with the latest advisories, closings, and forecasts, be sure to download our NBC 15 app. Just search WMTV on your mobile phone or device.
A 10-year-old Janesville girl's in the hospital after being mauled by a relative's dog. Police say she was badly hurt but is expected to recover. Now, that dog's being held at the Humane Society until a court can decide whether or not to put it down. And with lots of travel during the holidays, here's a really important reminder. Be sure the same thing doesn't happen to your kids. Daniela Vaughn with the Dog Den says you should always talk to your children before going to a relative's, especially
I thought they were gonna
if
say
your
you should
kids
talk
aren't
to the
used to
dog.
being
Yeah.
around dogs. She says avoid grabbing a dog's ears and tails and don't touch the top of their heads. We like to do that, but they can take that as a threat. As for dog owners, Vaughn says it's crucial to make sure your pet doesn't get too stressed out.
If your dog is panting a lot or drooling a lot or
He's
just
like, if your
really
girlfriend
tense,
is
if they're
panting a lot.
avoiding contact with anybody, if they're trying to get away,
They're trying to get away.
let them go in a separate area.
The Dane County Humane Society says supervision is key. It's up to the owners to be sure their dogs don't hurt anyone.
Green Bay police say an officer shot and killed an armed man at an apartment complex. Authorities say the man's wife called police to her apartment building on the city's west side this morning because her husband showed up and she has a restraining order against him. Police were told the man sometimes carries a pistol. 2 officers responded and found the 63-year-old man inside the building with a handgun. 1 officer fired and struck the man who was taken to a local hospital where he died. Investigators say a fire that burned a Wausau hotel over the weekend was likely caused by an electrical problem. Guests were evacuated from the Days Inn Saturday night and escorted to another hotel. The state fire marshal and fire officials began an investigation into the cause of the fire yesterday. Investigators learned a bathtub had overflowed for an extended period of time on the second floor earlier in the day. It was the same area where the fire was later discovered.
A federal judge ruled today that the National Security Agency's program of collecting
Yeah,
data on all
that's how we
domestic
do
telephone
this
calls
shit.
is unconstitutional. However, a U.S. district judge stayed his ruling pending a possible
Yes, we're
appeal
at the
by the
pickup
government.
zone.
In
We are
his ruling,
here.
the judge says that plaintiffs Larry
Where
Quinn
are
and
you
Charles
guys?
Haynes were likely to be able to show that their privacy outweighs the government's interest in collecting the data. The program was disclosed by former NSA contractor Edward Snowden. In Washington, D.C. tonight, there's hope the U.S. Senate will pass a bipartisan budget.
Okay, guys, stay tuned for part 3. We're gonna stop it here. Where you at, Trick? I see your husband Coltrane down over there. You better go stand by him. You fag. Alright, guys, I'll see you in the car.